So here we are in the bulk section in this supermarket. Rye berries, wheat berries, that's all you need. It's cheap. So here's what we need to make our sprouts and our rejuvelac. We're using wheat berries, available in bulk section in your co-ops or Whole Foods. A measuring cup, we use a half a cup of those. I use a mesh screen and a 2-quart ball jar. First we're going to measure out our wheat berries. We'll do half a cup. Just put that in our jar. We're going to use filtered water. You buy your filtered water. I use like that in reverse osmosis. And now we're just rinsing the beans, or the wheat berries. We're going to put our screen on top, and we're going to put our retainer ring on there. With that done, I'm just going to get them nice and rinsed there, get all the berries moving around. We're going to just strain it out through our strainer there. We have a built-in strainer. Get as much water out of there as possible. Alright, we're not getting any more water out, so now we're just going to fill it up with water and we're going to let it sit overnight on the counter. So that's our soaking process. We're just going to sit over, it shouldn't soak for more than 12 hours, or else you risk the killing the germ inside the wheat or rye berries. So here we are in the morning, we're 8 hours in. It's time to dump these out and just rinse them. So we're just going to dump them. Just leave our strainer on, we've got a built-in strainer. And we're just going to give them a nice rinse with some filtered water. Before clean water, we're just going to rinse it around. We're just going to dump her out. We're going to get as much water out as possible again. Now we're going to start sprouting them. They've been soaked. So the enzyme prohibitor is off of there. So we just want to kind of get them even with the bottom of it. We're just going to let them sit on the counter, and then we'll be back this evening for rinsing and draining again. So, we just got home from a long, grueling day at work, and here's our wheat berries. They're sitting there. I know we're really tired, but we have to do one quick little thing. We're just going to rinse them like we did this morning, drain them, and then put them back on their side. So we got her filled up with some filtered water again. We're just going to give her a swirl. Get all the berries moving. Get anything off of there. And dump it out. So we're just going to keep continuing to do this for about 2 to 3 days, and then we're going to start getting some sprouts. We'll put that back on the counter, let her sit overnight, and then before we go to work in the morning, we'll do it again. Alright, so here we are. We just woke up, getting ready for work. We're gonna rinse these off again, but you can see that they're starting to sprout little tails. So we're getting our little sprouts going. Well, one more day, and these will be ready to start soaking to ferment. So we're just going to give them a quick rinse, and we're going to do what we did yesterday. Got some filtered water in there. We're just going to give her a little swirl. Move all the little seeds. Drain her out. Try to get as much water out of there as possible. Don't want them to mold either. Alright, we're going to shake to just redistribute. Put it on the counter. We'll rinse it again tonight, and then tomorrow morning we'll probably start soaking them to ferment them. Alright. Alright, we're back from a long day at work. It's been a little over 12 hours, and you can see our sprouts are getting a little bit longer. We're going to rinse these one more time, and then we are going to let them sit overnight, and then tomorrow we will start getting them to ferment. Okay. Alright, we're filled with water. Just going to give her a nice little swirl. We're just going to dump her out. Kind of the same thing, but you can just see it's just a minute of work. Once in the morning, once in the evening. And some people will just say just do it once a day. So I found that I keep them nice and moist and clean. They tend to sprout better and tend to ferment a little bit better. Alright, so there we are. We're set. And tomorrow morning we'll get this thing going. Okay, mate. So here we are. It's the morning. And look at all those nice little sprouts in there. Looking good. They're in long tails. So we are ready to go. We're going to rinse it probably 2 or 3 times. Get any crud out of there. And then we're just going to let her sit in filtered water for probably 2 days on the counter. Okay. First rinse. Oops. Hard to do one-handed. Just want to get her swirled so we get the little bottom ones all. Dump her out. And then we're going to do that probably 2 more times. This is number 2. Here's number 3. Okay, we're going to drain it and we'll just fill it. Alright, so now we're full of clean water, clean filtered water. And we're just going to let her sit on the counter. And we're going to watch for bubbles forming in the wheat berries. When we get a bunch of bubbles, then we're going to be done. But we'll check it again in the morning. Okay, bye. So here we are, we're in the morning. We're jamming to some Human League on the currents, Teenage Kicks. You can see our liquid is starting to get cloudy. If I go like this, you can see there's bubbles. So we're getting really close. So maybe by this evening we'll be ready to bottle her up. We want a few more bubbles in that. Okay, bye. Alright, so we have sufficient cloudiness. And I checked before, we saw bubbles coming up. There's plenty of bubbles. So we are ready. So now we just want to wash 2 pint-sized jars, and then we'll just kind of equally distribute the contents in here, and then we'll be done. So we got some nice hot soapy water. We want to make sure there's no contamination in here because we're dealing with good bacteria and we don't want to invite in any bad bacteria. So I'm just going to scrub it a little bit. They were cleaned before they were put away, but just want to make sure we're dealing with bacteria. So get her nice and clean. Then I'll use a rag, and then we will rinse them with hot water. And then we'll distribute the liquid. Alright, so we got our clean 2 jars, and then we're just going to pour in our liquid here. We probably won't fill them both up, but we'll get them a nice... This one's nice and full, and then we'll just see what we get out of this one. There we go. So we got almost 2 full ones. Now these wheat berries can be used in smoothies, or they can be just composted. They still have some nutritional value, but obviously if you're gluten, then there's going to be some gluten in there yet. So probably want to avoid those. So when you do it, just discard them or compost them or whatever. And always have a kitty helper because they're the best. Okay, bye.